Man like Robbie here. Welcome along to MLR Daily, the show where we take a look at all the biggest football news today. Going to kick off with last night's games. Manchester United in the Europa League and a comfortable 3-0 win for Manchester United and another hat-trick for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. What a great signing he's proving to be. Great hat-trick from him in the game. And an easy win for Manchester United in the Europa League. As I said on yesterday's show, Mourinho really wants to win this competition. One thing I always give him credit for, any competition that he goes in, he wants to win. And you can see by the strength of the team he put out yesterday that he wants to win this competition. United can actually win a hat-trick of cups this season, right? Even if they've got no chance of winning the league, but they can win the EFL Cup, which they're in next week. They can still win the FA Cup and the Europa League. And if Mourinho pulled that off, it would be a fantastic season. So, great win for Manchester United. One of the interesting things in that game was Paul Pogba was playing against his brother. His brother plays for Saint Etienne, goes by the name of Florentin. Looks a lot like Pogba, and the whole Pogba family was there supporting both players. You see them, they had on these shirts that were sort of half and half shirts supporting both sides of the family. And his brother looked pretty decent as well, but Paul Pogba, should I say, coming out the winner of the brothers on the night. And must have been really, a bit like Serena Williams playing Venus, isn't it? Up against your brother in the same game. So a really unique situation. Arsene Wenger is all over all the newspapers today. Getting all the newspaper headlines again. The back page of the Mirror says he's a goner. And there's a lot of paper speculating today that, the end is nigh for Arsene Wenger. Thing is, he came out in his press conference today with lot of sort of subliminal messages that I'll still be managing next season, whether it's here at Arsenal or somewhere else. He didn't really make it clear. He didn't really put to bed the whole situation of whether he's going to be staying on or not. And I think until he does so, it's going to always be around from now till the end of the season. If Arsenal get a loss, again, it will be magnified. It will be big out there. For me, they would be better off coming out and just saying what the situation is going to be. Is he staying? Sign a new deal. If he's leaving, then say he's leaving. And then I'm sure the Arsenal fans would give him a really good send-off. But at the moment, there's still lots of uncertainty around the club. And a lot of the papers speculating today that the end is nigh for Arsene Wenger. Also, papers speculating about the future of a couple of the players. Alexis Sanchez. A lot of the papers saying that there was a big argument in the change rooms after the game, which Wenger denied, by the way, and saying that Sanchez wants to leave the club. A lot of the players have been very, fed up of him and that he wants to leave. Again, speculation. And also speculation about Lucas Perez, saying that, he wants to leave the club. He wants to fulfill his ambitions to try and get into the Spanish national team. And at the moment, with the way things are going at Arsenal, he can't get into the team. And he feels that he might be better off leaving. So lots and lots of uncertainty around Arsenal at the moment. And they really could do with a big win in that game against Sutton United. As I go on now to talk about the FA Cup, it is a FA Cup weekend. Loads of FA Cup fixtures. And that one, Arsenal versus Sutton United, taking place on Monday. We were actually at Sutton yesterday. If you get over to Arsenal Fan TV on Saturday, you'll be able to see the videos. We went behind the scenes. The changing rooms at Sutton United. You wait until the Arsenal players see that. You wait until Giroud sees that. Yeah, brilliant. Old school changing rooms. But Sutton United taking on Arsenal on Monday. Some of the other fixtures are Burnley taking on Lincoln City. Lincoln City, of course, giant killers in the previous round. They're up against Burnley. Huddersfield versus Manchester City. Middlesbrough versus Oxford. Millwall versus Leicester, which I think that's where the shock could come. I really do. I could see Leicester, who apparently going to make about 10 changes. I don't think that's a wise thing to do. But they're apparently going to make about 10 changes. They're taking on a Millwall team at home that have been very strong at home. You know what their support's like. That is going to be a tough game for Leicester. Wolves take on Chelsea. That's going to be a really interesting game. All those games taking place on Saturday. Then on Sunday, Fulham versus Spurs, Blackburn versus Manchester United. And as I said, Monday night, the big one, well, as far as I'm concerned, Sutton taking on Arsenal. It's a real sort of, you know, what the FA Cup's about, that tie. And that should be really, really interesting. Finally, as I go, just got to remind you that today at 5 o'clock, over on Arsenal Fan TV, the Gary Neville video comes out where Gary Neville spoke to me about some of the things he said about Arsenal Fan TV, some of his views on fans. Really, really interesting interview. Make sure you check that out. It's going to be over on Arsenal Fan TV. And don't forget to subscribe here to Man Like Robbie. Get it done now. We've got content every single day right here on Man Like Robbie.
Man Like Robbie.